This is track 3, which is titled Towards Carbon Neutral Cities. And we have 3 very good speakers this morning, and I will begin the session by introducing myself. My name is Bill Maybush. I'm with Turner Construction International, and I'm located in Doha, Qatar. And our first speaker today is Tom Murcott. Tom is Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of Gale International, and also founding partner with Renegade, a New York City-based marketing services firm. Please welcome Tom Murcott. He will be speaking on Songdo IBD and the future of smart, sustainable city-scale development. Tom Murcott.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here today at the Ctbuh 2010 World Conference. Gale International is committed to the practice of sustainable city-scale development. The title of this year's conference, Remaking Sustainable Cities in the Vertical Age, speaks to the unique challenge faced by all of us in this room. Unlike many developers, our focus is on urban greenfield projects. Cities from scratch, if you will, or as our chairman Stan Gale likes to say, just add water. With rare exceptions, this city-scale development model did not exist a decade ago. Fundamental changes in the worldview regarding environmental issues and the evolution of key cultural and socioeconomic realities have created a new category of development opportunity, city building. But who do we develop cities for? Pundits, environmentalists, politicians, or people? The answer is obvious. It's people. Gale International builds smart and sustainable cities to provide a better quality of life for the people who live and work there. And ultimately, it's the people who control and inhabit these cities that will determine the environmental and economic success of the place they call home. Let me start today by addressing our topic, toward carbon neutral cities. As development professionals, we know there's no such thing. Can't be done. Not yet, anyway. But as the panel title suggests, it's our responsibility to lay the proper foundations to permit the possibility of carbon neutrality in the future. I'll circle back to this thought at the end of the presentation. So what's changed in a generation that has created the significant demand for these smart and sustainable cities? Certainly, continued migration to urban centers within emerging economies. And the eco-responsibility, coupled with the growing realization that the eco-responsibility is critical to sustained growth and societal well-being. The opportunity and interdependence created by the growing global economy has generated demand for more than 500 new cities of 1 million or more, and this is in China alone. The global adoption of key technology platforms and what has become a nearly borderless international transportation system has enabled cities to exist in places that, until recently, were deemed too inhospitable or too remote to become a thriving cultural and economic hub. Politically speaking, nations and economies have never been more intertwined and interdependent. This opening of boundaries has allowed cutting-edge design development, construction, and operational technologies to be imported and deployed in regions that, in the recent past, had limited or no access to these methodologies. In short, the demand for smart, sustainable, city-scale development has never been greater. So, what are the keys to successful, environmentally responsible city-scale development? From the developer's perspective, can we build it? This requires a comprehensive and considered evaluation of the environment in which the development is planned. It starts with the physical setting, development size, topography, climate, transit access, water issues, the obvious fundamental aspects necessary to create a sustainable city-scale development. If we build it, will they come? Does the vision of regional city planners meet the genuine need to develop a working environment that will deliver the quality of life necessary to attract occupiers? A beautiful master planned city looks great on paper, but market realities dictate the appropriate form, function, and financial feasibility of the final product. Third, Most of our development projects are commissioned by public sector visionaries. It is critical that key underwriters, their backers, and related parties are unified in the goal to deliver a truly sustainable city. It's easy to support the concept of an environmentally responsible development, but less so once the challenges of public opinion and political weight weigh in. Fourth, can regional economy and investment pools support a smart, sustainable city? Can it be built to meet the realities of the local real estate marketplace? Like leather and wood trim in a new automobile, smart and sustainable comes with a price tag. With greenfield projects, we have a unique opportunity to set standards for environmentally responsible practices. Best practices can be implemented in both the public infrastructure and ongoing private development. Lastly, for Gale International, city building is a collaborative undertaking, with a cadre of design, planning, development, construction, and technology partners to each project. Without this integrated team, our clients would have to cobble together a variety of solution providers and trust they will integrate. We have found it is critical to deliver this integration from the start. Now let me give you a brief overview of Songdo International. In 2001, Gale International was invited to evaluate a development opportunity on the west coast of the Korean Peninsula. The client was the city of Incheon. A helicopter provided the initial site tour. Our host, former Incheon Mayor City Rowe, gestured grandly to the 3,000 plus acres of undeveloped, most often submerged, salt marsh, a tidal plain that would be reclaimed to transform to become the new Songdo city. Our host spoke of a vision for the future. A city that would become a locus of economic activity in Northeast Asia. A city that would invite international corporations and their employees to share in the financial opportunity and prosperity being created in the world's 13th largest economy. A city that would solidify Korea's rightful place as a global leader on the world stage. More than 500 million metric tons of sand and silt were moved to create the platform from which Greater Songdo would rise. Gale International secured the land rights for 1,500 acres of land you see on the left-hand side of the yellow line behind me. This would become the footprint for Songdo IBD. We shared the vision of our Korean hosts and saw a unique development opportunity. We enlisted the services of master plan architect Cohn Pedersen Fox and engineering expertise from Arup. Working together, we set a lofty goal: create a city with an unparalleled quality of life. We studied great cities the world over and considered the best aspect of these revered urban environs. We adopted the most life-enabling into a master plan, a plan that envisioned a day in the life of a Songdo IBD resident. You arrive at the Incheon International Airport on Friday morning, home from a week's work in central China. Clear customs and take a 15-minute hydrogen fuel cell bus ride across the 12.4-kilometer Incheon Grand Bridge, straight to your Northeast Asia Trade Tower office, or proceed home to your First World Towers residence. Greet the kids as they return home from the Songdo International School. That night, stroll to dinner with family and friends in one of the outstanding internationally themed restaurants in the Sheraton International Hotel. Up early on Saturday for a quick bike ride down to the Jack Nicklaus Golf Club, Korea, for a challenging round of golf with friends or colleagues. Take a solar-powered water ferry ride on Songdo IBD's unique saltwater canal, or for a picnic in a 100-acre Central Park. The outcome, an integrated master plan mixed-use development designed around the lives of the people who will live and work there. Songdo IBD's final construction phase is expected to close in 2015. In all, over $35 billion will be invested. Gale International, working closely with co-development partner POSCO Engineering and Construction, under the direction of the Incheon Free Economic Zone Authority, are on schedule to deliver a 1,500-acre, truly international city, of which Korea can be duly proud. Phase 1 has been completed. representing approximately $12 billion in investment, 23 projects, and more than 54 commercial, residential, cultural, civic, and recreational structures are either completed or under construction. Over 8,500 residential units have been sold. 7,500 Songdo IBD citizens are living in the First World Towers complex. Multinational corporations have committed to take space in the KPF-designed Northeast Asia Trade Tower at 68 stories, Korea's tallest commercial building. The Songdo Convencia is now open and hosting international conferences and exhibitions. The G20 finance ministers will meet in Songdo at the end of this month in preparation for the larger G20 summit in Seoul in November. In short, Songdo IBD is open for business. When Gale International envisions a collaborative master plan, we put people first. All aspects of the development necessary to deliver an unparalleled quality of life are considered. We address each development with an array of global partners, partners that consistently set new standards in the design, engineering, construction, and ongoing operations of smart and environmentally responsible cities. We will continue to work with our global partners like Arup, KPF, UTC, 3M, Cisco, and others as we take on new city-scale opportunities. Arriving with this team at the outset allows us to develop sustainable city-scale solutions more efficiently, more effectively, and at a lower cost than if these partnerships were cobbled together ad hoc. Gale International Global Partners' mandate requires that we will not undertake a project that does not target a measurably effective level of sustainability. We will build thriving, living and working environments with state-of-the-art infrastructure. That is the clinical reality of our business model. But these best practices and best intentions alone will not make a carbon-neutral city. Even if the goal were attainable today, in fact, for most of us in attendance at this conference, true success of our undertakings will be determined in the generations to come. Let me close by highlighting a few sustainable development fundamentals that we consider to be central in creating an environmentally responsible and economically viable urban landscape. First, a transit-oriented design. In Songdo IBD, subways and bus networks, plus 24 kilometers of bike paths and pedestrian walkways, encourage inhabitants to leave the car at home. Greater efficiency of energy infrastructure is also key. In many markets we are planning or operating, district energy is readily accepted. In Songdo IBD, a district cogeneration plant capitalizes on the increased efficiency of fuel consumption, looking beyond the strong foundation set in place by the Korean government-sponsored infrastructure. Gale International Global Partners are using Songdo IBD as a proving ground for tomorrow's sustainable technologies. From Otis Gen 2 elevators that use 75% less energy than traditional geared lifts, to 3M films that may soon turn entire buildings into solar arrays. Songdo IBD seeks to become the model for green growth export, a national mandate set forth by Korean President M.B. Lee. Finally, connectivity and communications. By implementing a smart network that interconnects and monitors the operational and environmental efficiency of the city, we have an opportunity to affect the most fundamental underpinning there is that will lead to genuine, measurable environmental responsibility, human nature. In Songdo IBD, we're partnering with Cisco to implement a variety of their smart and connected technologies. For example, green-aware monitoring will allow inhabitants to understand and control their consumption patterns. This has the potential to allow entire residential blocks to compete against one another for the mantle of Songdo's most environmentally aware neighborhood. So, to conclude, we will give the urban planners who commission our work and the citizens who live in our city the tools to be more in control of their carbon footprint. Ultimately, the duty to live an environmentally responsible lifestyle falls on these people. Societies for which we build these cities will have to fashion a culture that values and rewards environmentally astute behavior. The view of generations to come will be informed, for good and for bad, by the decisions those of us attending this conference will make throughout our careers. This is a responsibility that we at Gale International take seriously, embrace, and relish. I look forward to sharing ideas with my panel mates and welcome the opportunity to answer questions in the Q&A as well. Thank you for your time.